Coming up, we'll look at the active areas of weather for the weekend ahead. Your forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas starts right now.
This is Meteo Mundo.
Hi friends, Rusty back here at Meteo Mundo. We're your home for Caribbean weather. Good to see you on a Friday. Hope things are going well. Coming up in this video, we have some showers and some storms developing across portions of our area later this Friday. We'll take a look at that, look at your weekend forecast as well. As always, Meteo Mundo is sponsored by the Lean Law Firm of Central Florida, your hometown homeowners insurance attorneys. If you live in Florida, they're there to cover you across the entire state. Anything that can impact you or your property, they're going to walk you through every step of the insurance claim process. They offer free consultation and policy reviews. If you'd like more information, go to leanonmelaw.com. As always, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments section below where you're viewing from, what the weather has been like. We're going to start with that active weather, and that's going to be for our friends in Jamaica. We have a trough that extends from the western Atlantic back through eastern Cuba and Jamaica, and you can see some of the lightning strikes that have developed here in the afternoon hours. The weather getting pretty active right now in Jamaica. You can see the thicker clouds with this visible satellite imagery. A little bit of lightning between Black River and Santa Cruz and Mandeville, so this is not just some rain. There's a little bit of juice in the atmosphere today there in the south central side of the island, portions of Manchester and St. Elizabeth parishes, again, getting some heavier downpours. But look, even Kingston, which had a high today in the mid-80s, which is about 29 degrees Celsius, back down to 79. So some clouds and some rain trying to develop near Portmore and Spanish Town and Kingston. My friends in Jamaica, let me know in the comment section below if you're getting some of this rain, and even you heard a couple of rumbles of thunder. The active weather is going to stick around for the remainder of this Friday, at least through the daylight hours, and then redevelop tomorrow as well. And you can see on that surface analysis, do you guys see this dashed line near this area of low pressure? That's the trough that goes back over the southeast Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, eastern Cuba, Haiti, and then back towards Jamaica. And it's a nice little focusing mechanism to get that lift and moisture in the atmosphere and crank up a few showers and storms. Brisk easterlies continue for the eastern Caribbean, but better rain chances with higher moisture content coming back in, especially for tomorrow. And another cold front will actually reinforce some of that drier air in the Bahamas for the weekend ahead as well. But again, pretty active weather here in Jamaica. Same situation again for eastern Cuba. You see the lightning strikes just east of Santiago de Cuba. We're trying to get a couple of showers to develop near Port-au-Prince. If nothing else, we've had some extra cloud coverage for today. And we'll just follow this trough right back into the southeast Bahamas, Turks and Caicos. Now, this trough is a little bit more diffuse here. There's not as much rain, but if you live in the southeast Bahamas or near Grand Turk, let me know in the comment section below if you're getting any of the few isolated showers that have developed there at the hour. Now, the water vapor imagery will clearly show the blow up of a few of those concentrated storms. You can clearly see that right now. When you get farther north and west, there's even drier air coming back down into portions of the northwest Bahamas, okay? Gusts are gonna pick up a little bit, especially over the weekend, but these dew points are in the lower 60s. That's relatively dry air. Again, dew points, amount of moisture in the atmosphere, lower the number, the drier the air mass is in general. And even for, late February into early March, to get ourselves some low 60 dew points there in places like Freeport and Nassau, that's a nice feel to the air. We go on over towards the east right now. The air as a kind of broader perspective here is a little bit drier in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands for today. It doesn't mean that we're not getting some passing showers. You can see we still have our east to southeast winds. Temperatures have been quite lovely for today. Now, one area that's had some active weather is the northwest sides of Puerto Rico. Notice Aguadilla's temperature is back down to 73. We've actually had some healthy rain totals in these areas. This is going to be the live radar look out of southeast sides of Puerto Rico. You can see what I'm talking about. Some heavier rain is skirting the coastline from the Arecibo area to Isabela over towards Aguadilla. Now again, this is going to be kind of drifting off towards the west across the Mota Passage, could get close to Punta Cana, but some of this will be kind of dissipating as well. The interesting thing is that that's where the concentration of rain is, guys. Everywhere else across the Virgin Islands and the rest of Puerto Rico and even the northern side of the Leeward Islands is relatively spotty in nature. There's not a ton out there that's going to really provide some heavier rain. But again, northwest sides of Puerto Rico, a couple of inches of rain possible for the remainder of this Friday. Scattered showers continue. I'm going to take the temperatures off. We'll switch over to some of these wind gusts here. Once again, you're going to get some wind gusts in the 20, 25, even 30 mile an hour range. They're not going to be, persistent in that variety, but it's going to kick up surf and sea conditions again. And if you're a small, craft, you want to exercise caution, especially in the exposed waters on the eastern sides of the islands. Dominica had a nice little 30 mile an hour wind gust earlier. And you can clearly see again some of the low level moisture and some of the clouds from Anguilla, Barbuda down towards Antigua, Guadeloupe, Montserrat, Martinique. How about Bridgetown there in Barbados? Healthy 36 mile an hour wind. It's not spelling a ton of rain in most areas. Quick downpours. You snap your fingers, the showers are in and out of one area, but Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines could all get a passing shower the remainder of this Friday. You get down towards the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, and it's relatively dry. There's a little bit of moisture trying to sneak into the southern sides of Trinidad off the mainland here. And so even just south of Port of Spain, a slightly better chance for rain compared to the rest of Trinidad and Tobago. We're relatively dry in Nueva Esparta, fairly dry conditions and really lovely weather across the ABC Islands. Still getting a couple of showers to try and sneak on shore here. And again, low that visible satellite imagery, you can see some of those higher cloud tops developing across Costa Rica, Panama. Nicaragua is relatively pleasant for today. A little bit of thicker cloud coverage here across the Bay Islands on over towards coastal Guatemala and portions of the Belize. And again, it's throwing a few showers into the forecast, but you go farther north of that into Quintana Roo, and you're looking relatively dry for today. So we're going to get into the forecast for you right now, friends. You can see things are quite lovely, but we've got some rain to talk about for areas for this weekend. Real quickly, if you would like to, and I really do appreciate it, thank you for liking this video. Helps the channel out more than you think. If you have not subscribed to Meteo Mundo, we are 50,000 subscribers strong. Would love to keep growing. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button right now, sharing this with your family and friends, other ways to support the channel or the other endeavors that I'm a part of. I do have a United States forecast channel. It's called Weather Express. It's brand new, just a couple of weeks old. You will find a link to that channel in this video description. If you wouldn't mind clicking on that and subscribing to Weather Express if you're interested in the United States forecast, or you have friends and family who live in the U.S., you want to give them a heads up. It's a quick 5-minute forecast. That's why it's called Weather Express. I do it daily. Again, you can find the link to the description in the video description below, and I appreciate the support for that channel as well. All right, so let's get back out to the broad perspective here. First thing I'm going to do, you're going to see me switch on the rain, but the actual first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to come over to the model. I'm going to bring up the winds. That'll be the first thing we'll talk about here. And actually, let's do this. Where are my wind gusts? I love when I do this on the fly. I'm like, you know what? I want to show everyone something a little bit different. And then, I don't have it set up fully in the background. That's okay. We'll get through it. Those are going to be the sustained winds, but I want to talk about these gusts because really that's going to be the big story. We're going to have pretty decent sustained winds, 15 to 25 miles an hour, but you see on my legend on the top of your screen, anywhere you get into these greens, you're going to get winds of over 20 miles an hour. And if you live in the ABC Islands, this is one area I wanted to kind of highlight here. Again, expect those winds to be 20 to 30 miles an hour from time to time over the weekend. I think we're just really sticking with an east wind here. It's going to be 20 at least. But for Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao for the weekend ahead, don't be shocked if you catch a wind that goes over 30 miles an hour. It'll be the same situation in the Windward Islands in general as well. Again, Bridgetown there had a 36 mile an hour wind gust this afternoon. Those kind of winds are possible as well. Notice they're fast moving, guys. Again, it's going to take a little bit of moisture from the Atlantic, throw it across the Lesser Antilles in general, provide you some fast moving showers. Generally speaking, the farther north that we go in the island chain and then into the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, the moisture content is going to be a little bit better. Now the winds again will be whipping from time to time. These are not your rain, this is your wind, but just to show you again the freshening up of the winds, and that's going to come with some of that moisture. Now the interesting thing is this trough is kind of dividing the area from lighter winds and drier air to the north and to the west, and a little bit more breezy conditions and more moisture laden air to the south and to the east. This trough, which is bringing the rain to Jamaica and Cuba and portions of the Turks and Caicos as we speak, will dissipate over the weekend. It won't be as much of an influence. We'll still get some showers out of it on Saturday, but Sunday things will begin to dry out as that begins to fade away. So let's look at what the rain is going to look like here. There's going to be many areas of very pleasant weather over the weekend, okay? First of all, northwest areas will be nice and dry. I don't really expect any rain. You notice that maybe as we get into Monday, we might see a little bit of moisture swing back into the eastern side of the Bahamas. I'll keep an eye on that, but the weekend ahead I think is going to be absolutely beautiful for Walker's Key and Bimini and down towards Exuma and Eleuthera and the Acklands. Get outside and enjoy it, guys. Boater's looking pretty good as well. The air, relatively speaking, on our northwest areas is going to be dry, right? So Cancun, Cozumel, Chetumal, Belize City, San Pedro Sula, Utila, Roatan, sure, a localized shower is possible, but nothing that's going to be very concentrated. Indeed, even the Cayman Islands, just north of that trough axis, should be dry for Little Cayman, Cayman Braca, and Grand Cayman itself. There's your spotty rain over Jamaica. Now, again, I do expect showers and potentially a rumble of thunder to redevelop tomorrow afternoon. You can see this on our future track. There's not a ton of green there. I don't think there's going to be as much instability in the atmosphere, so it might just be some rain, but relatively speaking, a decent chance for a couple of showers tomorrow. And in this same area, again, you can clearly see the more kind of concentrated rain from northwest to southeast along that trough axis for Haiti, eastern Cuba, maybe portions of Turks and Caicos as well. So speaking of Kingston, this is the 5-day forecast. 40% chance for showers tomorrow. But again, some of that rain could be locally heavy. Could even see a rumble of thunder or hear a rumble of thunder and see some lightning. 30% chance Sunday and Monday. If we're going to get some rain, it'll be in the afternoon hours. And then we do begin to dry out. Now, the one thing that's going to stay very persistent, though, is pretty darn nice weather, right? It's been pretty hot in Kingston. You guys have let me know about that. Your temperatures in Fahrenheit here are going to be right around 80 degrees or about 27 degrees Celsius. So enjoy that. I think the air is going to feel relatively pleasant the next several days into early next week. Could get a couple of passing showers. Santiago de los Caballeros on our way towards Puerto Plata, Santo Domingo, Punta Cana there in the DR. Again, a little bit more concentration of rain coming in tomorrow. A few showers on Sunday, drying out a bit on Monday. That's the same scenario I have for Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. Again, the very interesting thing about this is, you know, the rain was not widespread for today, but man, it was really concentrated on the northwest side of Puerto Rico for this Friday. I don't expect that to generally be the trend. These should be fairly fast-moving showers, but just enough of a rain chance here to, again, make it not a completely dry forecast, especially for tomorrow. Scattered showers Sunday, a little bit more isolated on Monday. We'll see the same situation here for some passing showers for Anguilla, St. Bart, St. Martin, Saba, St. Eustatius, St. Kitts and Nevis, Barbuda, and Antigua, where, again, I would enjoy the weekend. Things looking pretty good. Healthy easterly breeze outside, but many dry hours and locations overall. Passing showers for Guadeloupe, Dominica, and Martinique. Again, you get south of there, St. Lucia, Barbados. Isolated rain over the weekend. St. Vincent, the Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, even drier, guys. Farther south that you go, moisture quality is not as apparent. Not expecting a ton of rain. Outside of potentially, again, the southern sides of Trinidad, catching a couple of showers. So the forecast for Trinidad and Tobago looks like this. I've got a 10% chance. There's just a little bit of haze in the atmosphere as well, so don't be surprised if it's that hazy sunshine. Now, as lovely as it is going to be in Kingston the next couple of days, my friends in Trinidad and Tobago know it's been pretty darn warm in the afternoon hours. We're hitting around 90 degrees Fahrenheit most days. It's about 32 degrees Celsius. And that kind of temperature is going to continue here even into the first part of March. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I've upped the rain chance slightly to a 20% chance. There's not a lot of rain in the forecast, but a couple of widely scattered showers, and we stay with our easterly breeze. As low as the rain chance is for TNT, it's actually going to be better than Nueva Esparta in the ABC Islands. Look, could there be a brief passing shower and a fast one for Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao over the next few days? Absolutely. But it's not going to shock me if you have a dry forecast at least through Monday. Once again, very breezy conditions there. Moisture begins to gather a little bit in the southwest Caribbean. Again, a couple of showers for Panama City towards San Jose, coastal Nicaragua, maybe portions of Honduras. But again, we've already mentioned that despite the fact that, you know, we might have a little bit of concentrated cloud coverage here, the moisture is just not extremely high for this time of the year, and I don't expect there to be a lot of showers. But again, some of you have chimed in from some of these areas and said, Rusty, well, you know, we've had some good rain from time to time. And again, that's kind of like the localized effects of this. By the way, I don't want to just leave our friends out in Bermuda, because truly, The most active weather over the next 3 days is going to be up in Bermuda. They're going to have some near gale conditions, nice little shower activity developing late Sunday and Monday, and some of that could be on the heavier side. So speaking of boaters, let's get into that forecast. Again, look towards the Lesser Antilles. Look at all of the green coming in with the easterlies. That's going to be some 8-9 foot waves from time to time. Next front coming off the United States East Coast is going to churn up the waters from Bermuda to the eastern side of the Bahamas, probably getting those near gale conditions to redevelop in the exposed waters of the Atlantic. That trough, again, is kind of messed up the wind flow here, and it's actually produced somewhat of light and variable conditions. If you see all of this gray, those are relatively low sea conditions. It's going to be a really nice forecast, towards Cuba, portions of the southern side of the Bahamas, Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, things are looking great, and even to the northwest side of the Caribbean, at least in the short term. So again, European rainfall totals, you'll see that rain coming in towards Bermuda. Several inches is possible there. Very dry in our northwest areas. There's that trough axis producing some rain, which could in a couple of spots in Jamaica be 1 to 2 inches or 25 to 50 millimeters. In a couple of spots of some heavier downpours possible, again, on the leeward side of the islands of the leeward of the Lesser Antilles, and into portions of Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands as well. So when we look at the GFS model, you just looked at the European model. The GFS model is very similar here. So if we go up towards Bermuda and you look at your screen, that's going to be 2 inches of rain in a couple of areas. Now, obviously, it depends on what's going to fall right over the island, but you get the idea that the moisture content here is relatively good for this time of the year. So if I just show you these gray areas, that's 3 inches of rain. The GFS has maybe more than an inch in Bermuda. Follow this trough back south and west, and you're going to see some of the areas with the better rain chances. And again, it's good to see portions of Haiti potentially getting more than an inch of rain in a couple of locations. They've been very dry. You again can see, I gotta say, right? This GFS model is right on where some of the heaviest rain is right now. Again, St. Elizabeth, portions of Manchester Parish, maybe the southern sides of St. James and Trelawney. Those are the areas with the best rain developing as we speak, but additional showers island-wide are possible for tomorrow as well. And trying to get a little bit of rain towards Kingston and the St. Andrew, St. Thomas parishes on the eastern side there. That could be well over an inch in a couple of spots. Relatively speaking, pretty healthy rain totals, especially when you compare it to the Cayman Islands. Again, you get north of that trough line, forget about it, guys. The air is just too darn dry. Spotty, heavier downpours are possible over Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and the Lesser Antilles in general, but nothing is extremely concentrated. And again, coastal sides of Honduras and Nicaragua here could see some decent rainfall totals. You get back towards coastal Belize, the northern sides of Honduras and the Bay Islands, a couple of spotty showers more than anything else. Friends, I appreciate you guys. You can follow us across all of our social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, X, and Facebook. If you would like to send me a picture or video to help tell the weather story, it's mymediamundo@gmail.com. As always, you have a specific question about the forecast, you're happy to drop that in the comment section below. It'll be my pleasure to answer it. And while you're down there, thank you for liking and subscribing to the video. Again, Meteo Mundo is sponsored by the Lean Law Firm of Central Florida. They're there to offer you free consultation and policy reviews with anything that can impact you or your property. So go to Lean On Me Law, oh goodness, easy for me to say, leanonmelaw.com if you would like more information. That's an end of a Friday, friends. Have a great rest of your day. I'm back soon with the latest forecast right here at Meteo Mundo.